Alright guys, today we're going to be making a unicorn pumpkin. So I went ahead, this is one of the craftable pumpkins from Michael's. I went ahead and used some gloss enamel spray paint. I did about 2 coats on this pumpkin and went ahead and made sure that was completely dry. Now we're going to start the decorations. So I'm going to be using these pieces cut from cardstock that I got from Michael's, and so I cut them out with my Cricut. This here is like the little mane, a little bang at the front. So I cut these out and I'm just going to use some Elmer's glue and I'm going to attach them. Now that that's done, we're going to move on to our little ears. So basically for the ears, we just want to glue the little pink insides onto each ear. Okay, now we're gonna add our eyes. So I cut the eyes out of black vinyl and I'm actually just going to pull them off of the backing and attach them to the pumpkin rather than using transfer tape, because I want to make sure I don't accidentally pull up any of that paint off of the pumpkin. So I'm just gonna put it down and I'm gonna smooth it out. I like to start from the middle and work my way out, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side and just try to make sure I get them pretty even. For the cheeks, which are cut out of that cardstock, I'm going to be grabbing my hot glue gun and I'm just going to be making 2 hot glue dots where they're going to sit and just stick them on. To attach the ears, you have a couple options. You can either put the glue down onto the pumpkin or put the glue onto the ear. I actually found it was easier to put the glue onto the paper and then put that down onto the pumpkin, because if you put it down onto the pumpkin and then put the ear on, I had to hold it in place while it cooled, which took a little longer than I would have liked. So for the horn, I cut out this cone shape with my Cricut maker out of this glitter vinyl. It's an ultra fine glitter. So I'm gonna take that shape and I'm gonna cut the top corner off so it's not too thick. So this little tab is going to be where I put the glue to kind of shape the cone. So I ended up scoring that line with my scissors to remove that strip of the glitter vinyl so that the glue, to make sure that the hot glue would stick properly. So I'm gonna put down a line of hot glue as close to the edge as possible, and then I'm gonna sort of fold it over so that my 2 long edges are together, and I'm just gonna hold it in place once I get it there. Now I'm using the dragonfly glaze in the color Full Spectrum on top of the horns because I wanted to give it a little bit of a holographic sparkle. So this isn't really a glitter paint as much as it's a glaze, so it's more like a clear top coat that has little glitters suspended in it. So I ended up using my heat gun not only to help dry the glaze a little faster, I also used it to sort of remelt the hot glue so I could reposition it a little better and create a less noticeable seam on the back of the horn. Alright, so now I've got my pumpkin. I'm coming back in with my now dry and finished horn. I am going to actually put the hot glue right on the inside of the horn, and then I'm gonna put that down on the pumpkin, kind of in the center of like the forehead of my unicorn, and then hold it in place. So I'm just going in with the end of this paintbrush and I'm just kind of smoothing down some of the excess hot glue from around the edges of the horn. Once I have that kind of locked in place, I'm gonna go in with a nice big old dollop of hot glue, and it's time for the main event. get it because it's the mane. And so we're just gonna stick it down on that unicorn in front of the horn and hold it in place. And then we're done. All finished with our pumpkin. Have a magical Halloween.